I waited to film this one until there was a little bit of natural light, and then there's artificial light. Because in this case, I'm talking about both. So this is on natural lighting versus artificial lighting for my Sacred Saturdays. Today is Friday, 15 May, 2026, and here I, Tanis, She, Her, Hers of Seattle, reflect on how my preferences for natural lighting versus artificial lighting have fluctuated over the years in regards to my Sacred Saturdays tradition. The tradition is one I started as a preteen and continue on as I am able. It is a Saturday I dedicate to balanced eating and concentrated / ritualized computer game playing. And this is it. So I initially I played a bunch of computer games, and then I kind of solidified the Sacred Saturday tradition about 2004. It's 2026, so over 20.00 years ago. In this room, I had a computer over there, and the bed used to be over here, so these used to be switched. And I have these blinds that I picked out when I was about 13 years of age, so it would have been like 2005, 2006 approximately. And so pretty close. And I actually picked out the blinds that I have in this room and because of Sacred Saturday. So it applies to my interior design, or at least it did for that particular design feature, so to speak. And initially I found that I really loved to play computer games. So I play all day. And what I found was if I was staring at a computer screen after the sun had set in my room, the brightness would just kind of get glued into my eyes. And so while I liked playing computer games, if I wanted to go to sleep, I needed to shift my schedule to start playing earlier in the day so that I could go to sleep at night. So, but it took observation and introspection as to why can't I fall asleep? Or I'm thinking of this Nancy Drew computer game, and I want to be going to sleep. So I'm kind of figuring out light sensitivity, my eyeballs to the light, and being yeah, and looking at the artificial light, it made my eyes sensitive, so to speak, and then my brain sensitive as well. But there was a lot of introspecting that went into the kind of realization of, okay, shift my schedule earlier. And then I also the critters of the backyard recently were like, you're Duwamish because you stay inside on hot days. The critters might not come down from the trees, so to speak, when it's hot out. And my family growing up, everybody loved to garden except for me. They'd be out in the yard, and I would be in my room playing computer games. And so I got these blinds. They're really thick, heavy duty, so to speak, while still being in the theme of the room of big cats. And I got it, and so the computer was over there, so I'd block out the natural light. And I remember sitting indoors being like, I'm indoors, blocking out the natural light and turning on I would the overhead light. And I was on a perfectly decent day playing computer games. And I've since learned the squirrels approve of that. They're like, you're very Duwamish. Native American. They're like, you must rest the land. That's part of being a Native American squirrel. Because they're Native American species. And so I'm part Duwamish by ancestral origins. Native American original peoples of the Seattle area. So there's been a little bit of so that was something growing up, but that it's come back up. Last year, I played my computer games about through this time of year and started, if you've seen some of my recent videos, the lighting will make this room really bright. So I need to adjust my placement, my computer. Now I use a laptop to play, so I can move in my room as well as adjust the curtains. There are different plugs in the room, so I can plug the charger in and that kind of stuff. I do handwritten notes that I can grab a binder and put the notes on a binder and take them with me accordingly. But if you've seen the YouTube production for a few of the games, I played a few different Nancy Drew computer games last year, 2025. the placement and the brightness in the videos changed to where I was filming them in response to the natural lighting and then figuring out the artificial lighting. So it's been, in terms of light, just broadly light, like light rays, be it from the sun, be it from like an interior light source, have been at like the front and center because I need to be able to play the computer games. And I think it was Nancy Drew Sea of Darkness. I was like, I couldn't find something in the game and I had to turn the brightness up on the computer. Yes. And so I actually worked through, so glare can be a problem. So that's where, you know, where the blinds come in. I lived in Hawaii 2012 to 2015 inclusive, of almost 3 full years, like 3.00 full years, almost. Okay. And I was a student there, University of Hawaii at Mono. I graduated with a Bachelor of Science degree in Geology and Geophysics with a minor in Mathematics. And living there helped me work through my, like, having to play during daylight hours. I got back to I can get up at 4 a.m. and can play a computer game and I'm fine. And that largely came from Hawaii. It's like, what, 11 degrees north latitude. So like the variation in when the sun would set was like, it would set at like 6 p.m. or 7 p.m. And I'd be like, I have 3 more hours of work to do. So I learned to kind of balance like computer brightness, artificial lighting, and a really big one is using just plain sheets of paper, like a piece of printer paper for the computer with no lines or anything, because I could see where I was writing. If there were lines, it added darkness to the paper. So I was like, literally it's just like a light balance of like, turn the brightness down, use a white sheet of paper, and like artificial lighting if/as I can, including desk lamps. And that has helped because my eyes are very sensitive to light, and I was a lifeguard and stuff, and so, you know, like, you know, sunglasses really matter for that profession, and so that kind of is, so that kind of factored in here as well. But then also consuming food. So like if I'm eating really early and I'm using artificial lighting and there's no daylight, and I might want to avoid foods with crumbs, or if I'm eating foods with crumbs, then I might, you know, want to eat at a desk as opposed to like on the floor or something like that. So it's something that doesn't ever go away, and my preference does fluctuate, but it has actually required a lot of introspection and a lot of growing up on my part to kind of reach my stable light balance solution that I live, so to speak. So that's on natural lighting versus artificial lighting for my sacred Saturdays.